Yo guys, what's going on? This is Yorkie here, and it is time for the first rebuild here of FIFA 2022. So take a pew and grab a brew. We're going to kick this one off with Borussia Dortmund. That's going to be our first rebuild of this game cycle. If you are new around here to the channel, make sure to smash that subscribe button as well as hitting the like button if you're going to enjoy the video, and follow me on socials and stuff. It's Yorkiemann on pretty much everything. Follow me on Twitter. We're trying to grow that this year. Borussia Dortmund has been the choice here. We actually let you guys vote in the channel section, which is great to see that you guys chose Dortmund, because Dortmund have not won the Bundesliga title since 2012, since Jurgen Klopp was there. They've not done the business. They're great. I love Dortmund, but we're going to win them that Bundesliga shield, and hopefully a Champions League along the way has been pretty nice as well. When it comes to settings and stipulations in this one, we don't have too much, but I'm going to try and do stuff the Dortmund way. That means bringing in young players that we can pick up from teams that we expect to be below us, especially in star rating. Bring them in for a small price and make them beast. They did that this offseason with Haaland. They've continued to do it with players like Jude Bellingham, Jadon Sancho, Erling Haaland. Erling Haaland, we will be moving him on after this season because, of course, in real life, he's got that release clause. Now, he probably doesn't have that in FIFA, so I might make an absolute mint on him. Does he have that in FIFA? He does not have that in FIFA, so we will make an absolute fortune off Erling Haaland, but we will sell him after the first season because, of course, that is most likely what's going to happen in real life. And that will be the plan for this one, boys. Sign young players, make them superb and brilliant, and sell them for a huge mountain of money. And along the way, win a load of trophies. That is the plan. This team is absolutely stacked with young talent. Honestly, lads, absolutely stacked. I cannot comprehend how good this team is in terms of its use. Jude Bellingham, 79, rated this year at 18. And Reina, those two are going to improve so much in season number 1. We've got Renier on loan from Real Madrid, who I'd actually like to sign in real life. But this is just a beastly team. It's a very good young beastly team. Haaland, man, this guy's a beast. We might actually go back to Holland instantly and look and see if we can pick up some players from there, because Holland is just a breeding ground of absolute super wonder kids. And I want a few of them. Anthony maybe from Ajax. We'll see. I haven't decided yet who we're going to sign. Usually I let my scouts handle it, so I will only sign players that the scouts bring to me. I kind of like that method. It makes it a little bit less cheesy. Kind of forces me to absolutely scout players instead of just going and typing in Kylian Mbappe and signing him, because we won't have the money for that, will we? I wonder how much money they've given us. I didn't check that. 54 million. That's a decent starting first budget, but in the first year, I don't tend to like to do too many transfers, but we will do the odd ones. For information, this is the PC version of the game, because of course, you get the full version of the PC game right now if you have EA Play Pro, and we only have 10 hours on the console, so that's a shame. Gutted, but it gives me the opportunity to see what the PC version's like. I don't know how the simulation is going to be this year, and I don't know how player growth is going to be this year. As far as I know, there's no changes to dynamic potential or anything, but let's just get into this one, get the first season done, and see where Borussia Dortmund finish. We might make 1 or 2 transfers just before we start that season, though. We moved our first player out of the club, and it is Torgan Hazard. I actually really like Torgan Hazard, but he doesn't suit the formation because we're playing like a 4-3-1-2 without wingers, so Hazard just didn't fit in. So he's gone, he's left us. We got 40 million for him though, so that's a decent chunk of change. Barcelona got themselves a new winger. This is a sign of things to come for Erling Haaland. We might be making quite a bit of cash off this guy. £158 million bid for Erling Haaland from Manchester City. Well, we'll see how much they're going to pay us next season, won't we, boys? We're going to go in here and make our first signing, and it's absolutely not exciting whatsoever. How anticlimactic for our first signing of the rebuild on FIFA 22. But it is Bebau from Hoffenheim. I just purely want some backup because we're playing 2 up top. I've got Haaland and Marlon, of course, being my 2 strikers. I just literally wanted a backup striker, and Bebau was 15 million, so don't at me. He's going to be good for us. 2 more signings coming in, and I just couldn't help myself, right? I love Badiashile. I'm never going to stop liking him. He's an absolute beast. He's a don. We brought him in, 20 years of age, Frenchman, centre-back, going to be brilliant. And we brought in Dominguez as well. Really good, cheap signing, to be honest with you, for both of them. Both were 15 million, so we spent 30 million there on the 2, and I think they'll be both worth more than that 30 million in a little bit of time. You can play CDM as well as CM. I think I'm going to really enjoy seeing how this guy progresses. Fan of him in real life. Leeds got linked with him, so of course I'm a fan of him. Let's see how he gets on, though, in this Dortmund side. Sticking to the roots of going for young players there, apart from Bebo, but we need a backup striker, all right? We needed it. It's from Togo as well. Love Togo. Haven't gone in for anybody else. I don't really think we need it this season until we start moving players on next year. I'm happy with the 3 we've brought in. We've loaned out a few players. We've moved a couple of players around, but I'm really happy with the team at the minute. Let's simulate this first season, see how Dortmund get on with predominantly the same team. And then obviously next year, huge changes come in when Erling Haaland will leave. And I think there's a few other players I might move on, like Axel Witsel and stuff like that. But we'll see how we get on this season. I'm expecting a good year because it's a very good team here in the German league. But you never know with these simulations. We could get done over. I didn't quite understand how strict their expectations were this year. And they're absolutely ridiculous, FIFA. Borussia Dortmund want you to get to the semi-final of the Champions League, win the Pokal, and win the Bundesliga in season number 1. Now, we did win the Cup against Bayer Leverkusen, which is great news, but we might get sacked here, guys. That is ridiculous. Surely that's a bug. Where did we finish in the league? We finished 4th in the league on 67 points. Very close, to be honest with you. There was 2 of us on 67 and a point behind Frankfurt, so we're close to being that extra level up, but I don't know if we keep our job here, guys. I really don't. I'm hoping we do simply because of the cup win. We might have to go really big next season because clearly the board are just maniacs. Looks like they are going to give us another season as I can sim forward now to the next year, but what ridiculous expectations they have. Madness. We're going to have to pick up the pace here for season number 2. The performance. They're apparently looking at it, but usually when you've got to this stage, you're still keeping your job. Wow, season number 2, expect a lot of transfers to be done and a lot of deadwood to leave the club. But at least that's the first season done, dusted, out of the way. Now we can move on to the main part of this, and that is rebuilding this team. It's time to get rid of a load of players and bring a load of players in. I'm not even messing about, boys. We're going to start straight away by going in for Bastoni. I'm a huge fan of him. They've given me about 131 million to spend. Let's see if we can get this superstar centre back in. We're going to try and get our young players to play this year as well. I must admit, on this screen, you've got to get used to not pressing X anymore and pressing A. They do want a lot of money for him, though, so we're going to go in here for 60 million. Keep pressing X. Reasonable. There we go. Deal done and dusted. Bastoni, he's going to be joining the club. We're going to change the formation as well. Maybe this had something to do with it, but it just didn't seem to work for us. I will swap this formation up. I am a lover of a 4-2-3-1. Basically, that's what this is. This is going to be the formation for this year. Then Witzel's going to go on a freebie anyway, because his contract's going to be up. I think we need to improve at goalkeeper and right back. Now, of course, from the seasons on, I'll show you all the stats and stuff and improvements for the players. I just wanted to get that first season out of the way because that's the year that we would have in real life. This is where the real start to the rebuild begins. Now, Haaland's going to be leaving. Did I train Marlon to play on one of the wings? I mean, it looks like he can actually play on the wings. There's no loss to his stat whatsoever. Expectations is brand exposure. Been 2 seasons, signed 3 of the best players in the world. So 82 plus rated. Bastoni might cover one of them. I'm not fully sure. Win the cup and win the league again, man. They rarely won such high success and reached the final of the Champions League. I was going to build this team on pure youth. I don't think we can do that anymore. I think I'm going to have to spend a load of money or else we genuinely will just get sacked. That is the first signing done and dusted. Then, boys, Alex Bastoni joins the club. Well, Alessandro Bastoni. And I'm really happy to have him in the team. A really big deal, but 23. Going to keep improving. Certainly the starting centre-back for the rest of the save. We've got another signing in here, guys. We do seal the deal for Alessio Carango. I think that's how you say his name. Cagliari, goalkeeper. Very decently rated. 81 because we have let Berkey go. Getting on a little bit and just... I mean, he didn't do the job for us last year. We need more clean sheets. Also let a couple more players go. Dan Axel Zagadou is leaving the club. We get 33.5 million for that. We're set at centre-back now. I've got Bastoni, I've got Hummels, and I've got Akanji. So I don't need Zagadou because we've got Benny Badiashile as the backup. And Wolf left. I mean, his release clause was met. And, I mean, I weren't going to use him anyway. But his release clause was met. We are going with wingers now, so we needed another player into the club. And we've dipped our toes into the market by going for the PSV winger in Noni Madueke. Nailed it. I nailed it. Don't at me. 60 million nearly for this youngster. He's 80 rated already, only 20 years of age. He's a beast. He's definitely a Dortmund style signing as well. What I'm trying to do this season is win the league, but still with Dortmund style signings. Very, very difficult. The expectations for Dortmund is just I'm not sure that they're, they're not right. Of course, if we're going to use wingers, we need plenty of them. I've signed Christian Pavon for nearly 30 million. He's a beast. We all love Pavon. Argentinian. 81 rated, I think he is at the moment. I'm really happy to get the deal done for Pavon. This instantly makes the side feel a little bit better. I'm going to have to retrain Pavon to play left mid instead of left wing. I think for now, we'll play Daniel Marlin there, and I'll retrain him to play that position. Because while nobody's coming in for Haaland, you might as well play there. Didn't expect to come back to this. We finally got the transfer offer for Haaland. I've sold Royce because I think he's getting on. He wouldn't sign a new contract. And as much as he is Mr. Borussia Dortmund, it's about time he went. But Marlin's release clause has been met as well. And it's miniature. It's absolutely tiny. It's disgraceful. But now do I still let Haaland go? They're gonna have to pay more than that. Let's say 230. Let's see if they'll accept that. They're not. I want 230, Simeone. Let's say 211. See if he'll accept that. 211 million. And they're good. They're good with that. Oh, no. No, they don't want to. Okay. That's fine. That's new. I've never seen that cutscene before. That's new to the game. So Haaland's staying for now. Marlin is not. That's a huge loss. Man United now coming in for Haaland. And maybe, just maybe, they'll pay the extra. Let's see if Ollie will play ball here. 221. Is Ollie actually in the game? Oh, he's paying it straight away. Well, typical Man United, paying the extra bit. We will take that. Ollie's in the game this year. He should have been in it last year, let's be honest. But there we go. So 220 million... Bellingham's going nowhere. No, Liverpool. That's a decent deal for us, actually. Nauf's going as well, but I can take that. This is a much bigger turnover this second season than I expected. I did say it was going to be chaos this second year. We've also agreed negotiations with Wrench, if that's his name, Wrench. We need more players at right back. This is going to be the backup right back. I still need to sign a starting right back. So decent business so far. A lot more to do now that Haaland and Marlin deal have done. There we go then. Haaland's gone and we're fast approaching the season. And they've given us 199 million, which is great. That's a lot of money. But we do need to make some more transfers. Now, we have got a couple coming in here. In Podence, we're going to do the deal here for Daniel Podence. I think it's a great signing. 80 rated. And I need 2 players to be able to play on that left side. So we're going to have Pavon and Podence for the left. Then, of course, Ajax's superstar centre mid, Ryan Gravenberch. Could not pass up this deal because he had a decent release clause of like 45 million. So, I mean, it's been a busy window so far, but I'm really happy with who we've signed. We are about to start the season, and I don't have a striker. I've got Bebao, who is now looking like a really shrewd bit of business. But my idea is we've got Pavon or Podence for the left. I'll retrain Podence now. And then for the right, we're still a bit short. Although Podence can play on the right, I still need another right-sided player. I need a starting right back because Meunier is not good enough. And now we're set in midfield because we've got Emre Can as well as Bellingham and now backup Gravenberch. So we're all set in the centre of the park. And then our 2 cams this year will be Julian Brandt and Reina. So I'm kind of okay in several positions and then not very good in others. He is no Erling Haaland, right? He isn't. But the replacement for Haaland is going to be Victor Osimhen. If you've seen him in a Napoli shirt, he's an absolute beast, and I really like him. So we're going with Victor Osimhen. It's a different route, but we now actually have a striker at the club that is good, and that I'm excited to see play ahead of Bebo, who still is there. He's not going to be the only new face, though, because we've sorted out the right-back position, and we have signed from Atalanta, Hatterbo. And I'm really looking forward to seeing how he gets on. He's a great player, is our Hans, and hopefully he'll be very hands-on at right-back and stop lots and lots of goals going in, as well as bombing forward and getting into good positions to whip in the ball for Sir Victor Osimhen. Feel like we needed a little bit more strength and back up there at striker, so we've gone and signed Mr. Brian Brobby because he's got the best name in the world and he's a great young Dutch striker. We've taken him from RB Leipzig. He's 75 rated at the moment and hopefully will be the backup striker this season. I think we're nearly done in this window. I think this is the biggest transfer window I've ever had on a rebuild, especially in season number 2. There's one more transfer we're going to do before the end of this window. And that is, we're going to go and sign the young Dutch winger, Calvin Stengs. Do you know what? I'm actually going to accept that because then it means Badiashile will be getting more game time, so Kanji can actually go. And I think then the squad will be done for the season. There we go. Calvin Stengs is done and dusted. This is the transfer window that we've done. Stengs, Brobby, Osserman, Hatterborn, Podens, Gravenberch, Rensch, Pavon, Maduke, Kragango, and Bastoni. And absolutely, I am knackered now after that. That was unbelievable for a transfer window. And I still have no clue how this season is going to go. Because the board's expectations, as per usual, are ridiculous. But let's fast forward now and see what happens and see if we still have our job or if this is just going to be one on the failed list for rebuilds. It is the end of season number 2, and once again, Borussia Dortmund have won the cup. So, I mean, we're back-to-back cup winners. So, silverware is being won here at the club. But how did we do in the Champions League and the league? That manager rating up there already isn't filling me with confidence, and we didn't do well in the league again, man. We finished on 67 points, 4th place, back-to-back seasons. That's just worrying. A little bit surprised. I don't think there's much more we can do to the team. I imagine we've grown a lot this year. Let's see what we did in the Champions League. Oh, boys, we had a shocker. We didn't even make it out of the group stage. I wonder if it's because we picked the team together so quickly towards the end of the season, and then maybe we picked up form. We'll look on the calendar. Oh, we can't actually look that far back on the calendar to see how well we did, and that's disappointing. Club Brugge. Oh, my God. Club Brugge went through in the Champions League. How am I still in my job? Now, that's the exact same manager rating we had last year. Let's see if we still have our job at the end of this one. But first of all, I want to go through the team. Have some players improving this year, though, as well. The goalkeeper doing well. I think next season will be unbelievable. We need a backup left back for Guerrero. Bastoni went up too. Max Hummels is leaving. Max Hummels is leaving at the end of the season, but we're okay with that because we've got Bastoni and Badiashile, and I'm going to sign a backup centre-back. Collins is leaving on a freebie as well. Rensch went up 1. Mori out on loan. Hatterborn went up 1. Pavon went up 1. Podens went up 1. We had a little bit of nice growth. Jude Bellingham now 84 rated. So I think the team's improved in parts. Gravenberch up 2 as well. So it'll probably be Jude and Gravenberch, the starting centre mids next season. Dominguez went up 4 out on loan at Man United. Wow, that was the right decision to make. Holy, Brandt scored 21 goals with 12 assists, going up 3 overall now to 87 rated, the best rated player in the team. Reina only going up 1. Noni went up 2 as well since he joined the club. Calvin Stengs only going up 1, but we're pretty strong now in that area. 9 goals, 3 assists. And Victor Osserman having a very good season for his first year, going up 2, scoring 26 goals and 3 assists. So I think we're close to where we need to be. Bebu's going to go now so that Brobby gets more time as the second striker. He went up only the 1. But I think we're there. I think this is the squad and the team is getting better. I just think we probably had a poor start to the season this time round. I hadn't even signed all the players by the time the season's form started. And hopefully, next year's the year, boys. Next year is the year. You heard it here. If I'm still in the job. Next year is the year if they still keep me as manager of Borussia Dortmund. Another year is upon us, and another year of ridiculous expectations from the bot. I mean, this is nuts. They want us to win the league again and win the cup. I genuinely think just winning the cup is keeping me in the job and reach the semi-final of the Champions League. And I firmly believe this team now, as a solid team together, we're there now. We're good enough. Maybe 1 or 2 players. I'm going to sign another centre-back because we're losing Hummels. And I think that's it. Unless I find a worldie of a winger for the left side, I genuinely think we're going to go with this team again this season coming. I think they're good enough. I know I said I wasn't going to do too much, and I wasn't, but we did need another centre-back, and Hermoso was just sat there waiting to be signed. 64 million. I did want Pau Torres, but he just signed for club, so it's one of those deals, one of those situations, but Hermoso's a beast, and he's 85 rated, and he will fill that Mats Hummels hole that we have. We've got Badiashile, Bastoni, and now Hermoso. We are set at centre-back, boys. Needed another left-back, especially backup, although it feels weird saying that this lad will be a backup. 83 rated, 23-year-old Dutch youngster Owen Wendell will be our backup this year, but, I mean, he's a beast. He can play as much game time as possible. We're absolutely stacked now at left-back. We've won the Super Cup 2 seasons in a row. This is the first year we haven't won it. Is that a sign that we're in for a better season? Because we haven't won it, and maybe we'll do better now this season. It is the end of the season, and has this been our season? Now, I know we haven't done the Champions League because we'd have that game here, and I know we haven't done the Cup again. So, we might be getting sacked, guys. We might be getting sacked. Where did we finish in the league? The only way I see us keeping our job is if we actually managed to win the league this season. And we only went and bloody did it. Finally, I knew the team was getting there with the simulation. When you've done these, there is a little bit of a meta for rebuilds and simulation, what you've got to prioritize, what you've got to do with the squad. And usually the smaller the squad, the better it is anyway. And we managed to do it this season with 76 points. I mean, Bayern Munich giving us a bit of a hand by having a poor season, but it doesn't matter. We finally lift that Bundesliga shield. I am extremely happy. It's taken us 3 seasons to do it, which is fine because, to be honest with you, I thought it was going to take us that anyway. Next, the Champions League, hopefully. We're going to give it a couple more seasons and see if we can do the Champions League. But there we go. Borussia Dortmund finally at the top of the Bundesliga again. Let's just quickly take a look at the squad that got us there, because there's some players that have improved a lot. Guerrero at the age of 30 has gone up +3, which is ridiculous. Windel will surely be gutted that he's not getting the game time, because Guerrero's a beast. Bastoni and Hermoso definitely did a job today. Badiashile going up 1. Mori in the club. No one cares about Mori. Wrench going up 2 out on loan. That was the huge thing because I want him to come back and be playing first team football eventually alongside Hateboer. He should be better than Hateboer in another season. Hopefully that will be the case. Pavon didn't go up at all. Podence didn't go up at all. And we might look for a new left winger and sell one of these 2 on. Jude Bellingham up 387 rated. It's expected. I've used really minimal development plans in this one because I genuinely wanted to see how players naturally develop, and so we're kind of getting that when we look at these results. 2 for Gravenberch. Dominguez up 2 again. He's a really good player. I knew he was going to come good, and you get late bloomers like this, and he's going to be a brilliant player for you if you pick him up this year. Brandt again, beasting and feasting, man. 16 goals and 17 assists. Reina getting a little bit more game time this year, so going up 2, and I think that will be a trend as seasons go on. Mads getting up 2 as well this season. Stengs just didn't get the game time. Again, I think this guy will grow a lot if you do give him game time. Victor Osman went up 4 and now 88 rated, not far off what Haaland was. 34 goals and 5 assists. And Brian Brobby went up 2, so he's not doing too bad. Sat on the bench. What a season that was. Let's get ourselves into the next season. See if we can get ourselves a Champions League as well. I would love to win the Champions League in this save. We did make it to the semi-final, unfortunately being knocked out by Real Sociedad, which was a bit just weird. Real Sociedad in the semi-final. But hey, they're having a good time. Unfortunately for us, I'm absolutely devastated. But I tried and I tried and I tried and I tried to nail down Julian Brandt, and he just would not sign a new deal, no matter what I offered him. The man is worth 103 million and we're losing him for absolutely nothing. Terrible bit of business by me, but I genuinely just would not sign a new contract. I think probably because we're on strict negotiations, maybe. But nah, he was having none of it, boys. We lose a superstar of the club for absolutely nothing. I'm devastated. The other 2 were planned. I was always going to let Can go because he's 30 years of age now. And I was always going to let Mori go because I just don't really rate him, and we've got better backup right backs. With Can going, though, it does give an absolutely brilliant opportunity for Gravenberch. And I also know that we've got Dominguez at backup. So Can go in, you know, we could have got some money. I don't want to always do it that way, though. You could cheese the transfer budget. So for this rebuild, I didn't want it to be ridiculous. I wanted us to build what we already have at the club. I'm just so gutted about the cam position. Now we've got Reina, who is a beast, but I do probably need to find somebody else there to play cam as well. Well, we did need a cam, and I've gone for him. I've gone for Lorenzo Pellegrini. He's really good, to be honest with you. I'm really happy to have signed him. Cost us 64 million, 28 years of age, 84 rated. He's no Julian Brandt. He isn't. I'm going to put that out there. He isn't, but he's still a very good signing for the club. And I think Reina can get up there in rating, and that's been the point of this rebuild, right? Getting the youngsters to improve. I think with Reina getting more game time this year, he will improve massively. We've also let Podence go. I think it was about time. I think we got about 33 million for him, which is pretty decent. He had a good time at the club. I really enjoyed using him, but I think we just could find someone a little bit better there on the left wing to play instead of him. Next bit of business done for the club. Luis Diaz has been unveiled by the team, and he is definitely an upgrade there on the left side of midfield. He was going to be out of contract as well, which was brilliant. The Colombian, 56 million his value. I think we paid bang on 56 million as well because he was going to be out of contract. 85 rated rapid. An improvement on what we had, and that's all that matters. We feel a little bit weaker, of course, without having Brandt in the team, but I think over a season's worth of progression, again, we should do well. Let's actually take a look at what the board are expecting from me this season, which could probably be the worrying thing. I still would like to sign another right back, potentially, but we'll see if we can manage to get that deal done. They want us to win the league again and win the cup. and reach the final of the champion. I mean, it just never stops, does it? It just never stops. I just could not help myself when I saw what it was valued at. Denzel Dumfries comes in as the starter. Hatterbo was the starter, and I was planning to find a backup, but 28-year-old Denzel Dumfries will come in at 84 rated and be our starting right back, I reckon, for this season. Brilliant signing. Didn't cost much at all. 50 million. I think that's a steal. This is how the team is looking coming into the new season. And I'm confident, again, of course, we do miss that goal-scoring threat that was Brandt, but I'm pretty sure that Pellegrini and Reina can take up the reins and hopefully do well in the camp position this season. Another Spanish side again has trumped us, man. Last year, Real Sociedad. This year, Valencia. We beat PSG. We beat PSG to get here. And we lost to Valencia. Absolutely gutted. We did have a good run at the end of the season, though, so no cup final again, but did we perform well enough in the league to keep my job? Ooh, we just missed out on the league, but the board seemed to be okay with me because, again, semi-final of the Champions League, and we just missed out there in the league. Bayern Munich a little bit too good for us. This is going to be the final season coming up as well, so we're probably going to go all out transfer-wise. Victor Osimhen's now 91 rated, man. This guy's a beast in career mode this year, so if you get the chance to use him. Mads as well at the age of 23 is 87 rated, and as I said, like these young players we signed, we were just going to keep progressing. Guerrero now at 31, and he's 89 rated, which is great to see that if they get game time, they're still going to go up. Pellegrini went up 2, Bellingham went up 2 as well. Diaz had a pretty decent season going up 1. Dominguez has stopped his growth basically at this stage. Wrench has gone up 2 out on loan, but we're probably not going to use him much, which is a bit of an issue for him. Reina just hasn't done it for me. I thought he was going to be unbelievable in this series. Just hasn't really reached the potential we expected him to, and a probably biggest issue was Brandt is a million times better than him at the start, and we just didn't give him the game time because of the ridiculous expectations on us from the word go. I've been given a decent amount of money, but to be honest with you boys, I'm really happy with the squad. So we've done what we said we would do. We did sign really young. We did move players on and then spend the money that came in. And I don't want to change that now by going in and signing like a Phil Foden or a Kylian Mbappe or a player like that. I want to stick to our guns. I think this team's really strong. I think we can have a really good season here for the final year. I'll come back and see if we're progressing well in the Champions League, potentially for a Champions League final. Season 5 done and dusted, and we won the Pokal again. I mean, we're specialists with this. There's 3 of these in the cabinet since Yorkie's been there, to be honest with you boys. So it's a trophy we've really enjoyed collecting. We beat Hoffenheim 3-1 in the final. But it just wasn't to be for the Champions League. Barca will play against PSG in the final. Barca the team to knock us out as well in the semi-finals on penalties. Of all ways to go out. We were so close, boys, to being in this final. We're inches. I'm gutted. I'm genuinely gutted because it's always nice to win the Champions League in these rebuilds, but I don't want that always to be the staple of the rebuild. The whole point of this was to keep the Borussia Dortmund way, signing the younger players and selling them on for bigger money. We did mess up with the Brandt deal. I think if we'd have kept him, we'd have been in a much better position, but we could have been playing against PSG in that final. Runners up again in the league to Bayern Munich. I mean, Bayern Munich are just gods in this. They lost twice. They drew 5 times. Only conceded 29. Unbelievable season for Bayern Munich. And I think unless we just chucked money at it, then we probably wouldn't be able to consistently beat them because that's what they keep doing. We did have our 1 season, though. So 3 Pokals and 1 Bundesliga shield to our name in this 5-year rebuild. And it's the first one of the year. But to be honest with you, I've really enjoyed it. And I hope you guys have too. Let's take a cheeky look at the team at the end of this season. And let's see who was the top goal scorer. Victor Osimhen, the man is a beast. 40 goals, 6 assists. Gravenberch with 20 goals, 12 assists. But you'll notice here our biggest issue is Cam. When Brandt was playing in that position, he was scoring goals for fun. He was always the second top goal scorer. We just don't really have that anymore. It might have been smarter to have just used Reina there for a season or 2. I think that really could have been where we come undone. Just not being able to get him to sign a contract. And then he signed a pre-deal with Chelsea. Really frustrating, but I'm happy with the team we built. A lot of the great young players went up, and the fact that we kept players around like Jude Bellingham and Reina, no one ever really came in with a big bid for Bellingham, which was really surprising, to be honest with you. I thought Bellingham was the player that someone would come in for, but no, it didn't seem to be the case. But that is the rebuild done, and I've enjoyed it, guys. I hope you have. If you did, please smash that like button down below, as well as hitting the subscribe button. I've got another rebuild in the works already instantly. you will hopefully see us win the Champions League in one of them. But like I say, not every rebuild I do is going to be, go and win the Champions League. That is the usual meta for a rebuild. I want to do stuff a little bit different. I just want to have a bit of fun with it, test some stuff, and see what works out. Victor Osimhen works out. Use him. Take care, guys. I'll see you in the next one.